Go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider the unintended consequences. That is today's stream topic, at least. Unintended consequences, you ask? Yes, indeed. Yesterday we had a day of adventure, whimsy, even. We had an experience of uh, getting to go out and have high tea. We went to an old Capitol building in the name of the place escapes me. And it was very cute. In so many words. There will be unintended consequences if you leave the hole in your pants visible. I have underwear on, so you can't see anything. But damn it. Happy? Yeah, that's what the scarf is for, okay? Hiding all of my embarrassments. Yeah, unintended consequences. Uh, after we went to the tea party, happy, as a rule, generally not. Relatable, I get it. Nice. Yeah, that makes me happy. Cheers to myself, I say. Yeah. Huzzah. All right. The unintended consequences. I'm gonna get my topic out a little by little. So we went to the tea party, and then we came back home, and we set out with the intention to watch Alice in Wonderland. We went and did some research. Hey, typical Tiffany. Good morning, dear friend. It's been a while since seeing you here with us. Hope you're doing well. Welcome into our calm space. We're talking about the unintended consequences. All right, and I am really flabbergasted a little bit this morning about the unintended consequences that I am kind of paying the price for. I'm gonna share it little by little. Went to the tea party, came back from the tea party home, set out with the intention to watch a movie together, Alice in Wonderland. And it was this experience of almost like we set out the intention, and then there was this big gap between what it is we wanted to do and what it was we were doing. We had a meal, we decided to paint some of the things that we had made on a day prior. Me and Joe played with clay and made ourselves these little mushroom dudes. If you can think which ones are Joe's and which one is mine, would you be able to tell?
I'm also a mushroom. I'm a mushroom too. Don't look at me too long. I'm a mushroom, okay? I promise I'm a mushroom.
So yeah, I made the middle one. Joe made the two on the edges. I'm super happy with how they turned out. What's up, Mel? Having a good morning? What's the topic? I'm having a fine morning. I didn't sleep well, relatively speaking. Like my statistics, I spent a lot of time in high stress, and I'm getting to that point. I'm getting to that point at some point. The unintended consequences. I don't know if it was the movie's fault. I feel like it would be wrong for me to blame the movie. But we wanted to, at first, watch the 1999 Alice in Wonderland with Whoopi Goldberg as the Cheshire Cat, right? And we felt like that was the movie we were supposed to watch, at least according to the internet's consensus. That's the one that's the most pure to the actual story and the telling of it. And it was just unavailable. We couldn't get there. So while we were trying to get there, kind of thing, we did this. We painted our stuff, uh, and it was just this like back and forth with me and Joe, just experiencing this experience. How many people do you owe money to? Actually, no one. I'm very happy to say, Chuck. I used to owe my uncle money because I crashed his jet ski. I wish I was joking. He's not really my uncle. He's uh, like a, and he's completely out of the family now. My aunt used to date this guy who had a jet ski, and then when we were at their place for Christmas, I crashed his jet ski against the bottom rock face, breaking the hull up, and then I had to pay for repairs. And that's the only person that I've owed money to in the last like 3 years. But when I had money, I paid him back. Okay, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. All right, all right. Unintended consequences, right? That was the unintended consequence of him letting me ride his jet ski. Yes, because again, I saw the rocks coming, and then I stopped accelerating because I'm used to driving motorcycles, right? And you don't want to accelerate towards a problem. You want to decelerate and then steer away. But that's not how jet skis work. You cannot decelerate and steer at the same time. You have to accelerate as steering because your steering is a jet of water. And if you stop putting out that jet of water, you stop steering. And again, it was my first time riding a jet ski. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Yeah. I still die inside a little bit. That's one of my more embarrassing moments that I've had. Anyway, unintended consequences. We paint these little mushroom dudes. We start watching the movie, and we did actually, right, embrace a little bit more openness. We set like proper intentions. We talked about the way that this week has unfolded, kind of like being away from that energy. And then we embrace that energy with the mindfulness of how the medicine can affect us negatively. And it was a beautiful experience, right? Me and Joe's presence with one another was nice. There was an awkward moment with Joe where I took him outside, and then there was like a bunch of gnats on him, and I couldn't get the gnats off of him. I was like blowing on the gnats, and they were just like sticking to his face. So I like tried to use my scarf to like brush the gnats off of his face, and he really didn't like that. And then he wanted to bite me. And then I like went to Joe and I'm like, I literally come inside and I'm like, please help me, please. I think I fucked up. I need your help. And then he bites her. He actually bites Joe. We put him in his cage. We watch our movie. And the movie, right, like this device will like track the way my heart beats. And the way your heart beats, depending on how much strain your heart goes through, will register as a certain level of stress, right? And I was like in a state of high stress, extremely high stress, watching that entire movie. And then we went to bed, and I had really bad sleep afterwards, right? Like I did set out the intention. One of my intentions was to calm down my central nervous system. And I feel like even though in the moment that might have been the truth, right? I was feeling calm, but I think my actual body was processing a lot more than I thought. And I regret it. Legit, I woke up this morning like, kind of wish I did things differently of an experience. And then this morning, we woke up feeling this like grogginess kind of thing. We did the things that we needed to do. Took Noodle out. I took Zoe out. I started making us coffee. And then Joe brings Zoe into the kitchen, and he bites her again. And then he bites her, and then she's like, ah, stop that. And then he bites her again. So, yeah. it was like one of those mornings where there was a bunch of unintended consequences. And I don't know how much of it is directly correlated, right? Like, I don't know if I want to blame the flowers itself, but it is the only thing that has directly changed, right? And I'm like being like, who knows? Who knows? Now I'm going to again take the next week off and see what the unattended and intended consequences of that will be as well. Maybe you friends can tell me what unintended consequences you've experienced in your life. We got the ultra funky Welsh lady saying, "Hello everyone, I'm practicing a witch offering comprehensive spiritual services. My work includes intuitive tarot readings." That's cool. I've never paid for a tarot reading. And this is my own personal, I think, attachment, no, bias. And maybe you can let me know what you think, ultra funky Welsh lady. I have a friend. His name is Adrian. He was the first person who ever pulled tarot cards from me. And when he set out with the intention to pull cards from me, he told me that if someone ever tried to get me to pay for that service, that I would be like messing with like soul energy, or like he basically put the fear of God in me about paying for tarot readings. And like since then, I've only allowed my tarot to be read by people that want to do it out of the goodness of their heart, kind of thing. Ultra funky Welsh lady. What do you think? Have you ever heard an perspective like that? Does it make sense to you? What does that mean to you? Thank you so much, typical Tiffany. I hope you're doing well also. Life has been extremely busy for me. It feels good to stop for a minute. Thank you for joining us, dear friend. Yeah, we all need a little bit of a moment of calm sometimes. The unintended consequence of living in the world can be remaining busy. Also, mediumship to channel messages from deceased spirits and ancestors. That's pretty cool. I also specialize in practical witchcraft, including custom spell work, hex breaking, exorcisms, and energetic cleanses to remove negative entities and restore balance to your life. That's really cool. That's a pretty big range of stuff that you can do. Yesterday, on the road towards our high tea experience, we listened to the Tom DeLonge podcast with Steve-O. And they were talking about aliens, and they were talking about manifestation and meditation. And there was a lot of, at least in me, inspiration in feeling into this power that we have as human beings, right? We do have the power to literally change our reality. Our minds like antennae, right, to the universal signal. And you also put out the signal, right, that you see what you want to see, kind of thing. So I do believe in energy healing and, right, in the realm of spirit, but I also believe that it is up to the individual to realize that they might be doing that to themselves. I wonder if a lot of your healing or your work is like that, right? Do you kind of like sit with the person and find out how they have been inviting kind of energies into their life, maybe, all right, with unintended consequences? Ask me how I know. A tea party while watching Alice in Wonderland sounds like an amazing time. It was. We even had like a whole thing where we abided by the medicine when we watched the scene of the worm, and we had tea when the tea party, when the unbirthday scene came up as well. Look at those, so cute, aren't they? Like, I'm super happy with these, Tiffany. Like, this is the first time I've ever sculpted something. Right, my first time sculpting something, and my first time painting my sculpted something as well, of course. I think Joe's is way better, of course, but she has had more practice than me. We will make more. I look forward to it even. It's so cute.
So adorable. Is by Oleg.
I'll put it back there. What's the topic? Now you know. How about you? Combat journey. Your mushroom is one with the Morty eyes. Yeah. That was Joe's inspiration. She was like, you should make the pupils super tiny. You should just make like the tiniest pupils. Don't look at me too long, okay? I'm a mushroom. I really am. Difficult Tiffany. Yeah. I love that. That can be impressed. Like me and Joe had like a whole moment yesterday, just like anthropomorphizing that mushroom. Like, I'm a mushroom, okay? I'm a mushroom, all right. Don't look at me. Don't look at me too long. I'm like, I'm just as much a mushroom as these guys next to me. I'm a mushroom. Good morning, fam. Good morning, Christy. How are you doing, friend? Sending you so much love. That's the brown-haired Alice from Napoleon Dynamite. It's on Tubi, I believe. I don't think I've seen that one. Brown-haired Alice. There is a bunch of Ellis movies. So I downloaded the 2010 live action as well. I was extremely hungover yesterday and I missed the stream. Lol. Family barbecue. Oh, Christy, welcome here this morning. I hope you're feeling better. Hope that you're going to go into your day and into your week with a sense of hope and joy. I see messages disappearing. Raise your hand. Love is true. That happens to me too. I wouldn't have to drink if I weren't related to those folks. They make belly laugh. Drop a selfie so we can judge you too. Nice, Christy. Yeah, it's true. I would love to, right? I would love if there was like some sort of system in place where if you send inflammatory comments about a person's appearance on the internet, it should automatically like take a photo of you in that moment, right? And send it to the person that you were making inflammatory comments towards. That would be that would be like a lot of fun, right? It would give us a lot of perspective. Be like, oh, you think you look good, and it's just like this, like downward facing photo. You know, you just see like neck beard on neck beard, or whatever. Who even knows? Be mean, get yeeted, or whatever. If the kids are saying, if the kids are, or whatever the kids are saying now, learn from that asset. Don't do as he did. You couldn't hit the broadside of a bomb. Yeah, hell, just because your messages are not being read and being removed doesn't mean you're hitting any nerves, right? It just means that you are being very uninteresting. And like Sam's message to him being like, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Your attempt was just so pathetic, I ignored it out of pity. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and now it's like comments about my hair. You don't like my hair, bro? I think it looks good today. Let's see. What more can I do? Leave in your hair. Your friend acts a little weird, biting people. We've all been there. Poor baby. Wants to troll, but he hasn't managed to figure it out. What's up, player? What's up, friends? Reminds me of young Quentin Crisp. I don't know Quentin Crisp, actually. I'll take it as a compliment. If you're gonna troll, do it correctly. What's up, brother? What you have here? We're spending some time considering the unintended consequences today, right? One of the unintended consequences of me doing live streams every single day is that I end up getting many different perspectives in this space. Some of those perspectives are more abrasive than others, but most of them, at least the ones that I really value, are people, all right? Like just people being people. And I see it as both. I see it as both, right? The inflammatory stuff is just people being people as well. But the other side of it is almost like the version of me that I give to. I had a moment yesterday in meditation where I go up in the almost like the chakra frequencies, right? Where the red frequency, the rooted frequency, is like a force field that's directly around my body, right? You cannot touch me. I have a force field. Then the orange frequency is a force field that I put around myself, but also those that I I have like romantic love for. So, Xiao, right? In that moment, I was like seeing us encapsulated in a bubble together. Then the yellow frequency is all of you friends, right? The people that I love with will, right? It takes willpower to love in this way, right? I have to like will myself to get up. I have to will myself to get dressed and get my hair presentable enough so that you don't have to keep looking at it from a perspective of, oh, put that curl in a different place or whatever, right? Then the heart chakra is the love that extends to everyone, right? Regardless, no will necessary. It's just this pure love force that goes out, encapsulating the entire earth. Then the blue part is the energy of the voice, right? So as I'm speaking, I'm literally putting out energy, right? And that energy travels into the world. If an alien is sophisticated enough, technically, they can be outside of our planet's atmosphere and they can tune their antennas all the way towards this moment and they'll be able to hear and then in that way be influenced by my voice, right? So in that way, encapsulating even those outside of the earth with this blue bubble. Then it goes into the third eye, where I encapsulate all I can imagine. Everything that I can imagine as a human being, I encapsulate with this bubble of protective energy. And then finally, it's the root chakra, where I realize I am everything. And that is what encapsulates the experience I'm having right now. So yeah, that's what I was doing yesterday, kind of thing. And since there's so many layers of protection between me and everything, all right, I try not to take too much offense. Nothing actually hurts me. The unintended consequence can be that I sometimes am too lenient. I'm sometimes too patient with people that I shouldn't be patient with. And that's where I need to learn, right? The unintended consequence can be that people, my community, ends up being influenced by the bullshit that these people are bringing into the space. The energy you come in here with will be the energy you receive in return. Exactly. No, you don't. One more time, the right way. Did you hear that, Sam? You struck a nerve in hell. Poor thing. Sometimes the unsam energy hits you like a slap in the face, and if it does, it's because I wasn't left with any other choice. Sounds like she's full. Yeah, he is being cute. What's your content, bro? New here, Monkey D. Luffy. I'm a One Piece fan. One Piece is actually one of my favorite animes when it comes to like actual character development. This content here is about unintended consequences. This specific episode in the MeltMore show, if we're gonna call it that, I show up every single day with the intent to consciously evolve, right? Realizing that the process of evolution is, for me at the very least, at this point, a conscious one, right? I'm not going to grow any extra fingers in my evolutionary process, but I will grow through mind. Thank you, Joey. That's nice of you for blessing me with a star. I'll grow through mind, right? You have this ability to be conscious of your own behaviors. For instance, if we're going to use one of the trolls in the comment section today as an example, this person is coming into this space with this inflammatory way of engaging, right? And the reason they do that is because they get attention that way. However, the attention they get in return is also inflammatory. They're not being encouraged, they're not being supported, they're not being loved for their output, they're being challenged for it. However, if you don't have a lot of love in your life, if you have only experienced the energy of combativeness, then sometimes the only thing that you know how to engage with is that toxic kind of way of kind of like back and forth, right? And for that person, hopefully, they'll consciously evolve, right? They'll realize through their conscious experience, every time I engage with other people in an inflammatory way, I get inflammatory responses in return, right? And that makes me feel isolated. That makes me feel unlovable, that makes me feel hated, that makes me feel like I'm unworthy of being in a space, right? And you can continue to perpetuate. You can continue that cycle of destructive behavior for yourself onto others. Or you can, through consciousness, evolve beyond that. Come to the next stage of your experience. Realize that there are better energies to engage with in this world, right? And if you understand, and this is again something that you have to become conscious of before you can do something about it or before you can apply this wisdom, you have to understand that negative energy literally influences your cellular health, right? If you negatively put energy into yourself, even if you're putting it out into the world, it's you're listening, you're reading your own inflammatory words. That inflammation happens in your body, right? You spike your cortisol. You might think you're being funny. You might have a smile on your face, but your biology is not supposed to engage in that way, right? It's again one of those things where that same person wouldn't say any of those things to me in person, right? And even if they did, I would sit with them until they would be completely disarmed, right? And it is that kind of like thing where once you realize that your actions have a consequence that's not only the external world, that you influence your own brain chemistry, that you influence the way your body feels, right? Maybe, maybe that person will have the room to consciously evolve. That is what we do in this space. Calm down, folks. The Messiah is trying to speak. Thank you. Pause for. I appreciate you allowing me the space. What's your degree in? Where did you study? And what did you study? I have a degree in being full of it, and I studied in the University of YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Will Smooth. You've got the King of the Pirates. Pull up a chair, bruh. We're getting consciously evolved. There it is. Yeah, love, yes, I can see. Thank you for joining us, dear friend. Anyway, even if you see BS from a mile away, maybe you should get close enough to do something with it. Whether you believe it or not, bullshit is a really good fertilizer, right? And the only way to use the bullshit as a fertilizer is to get really up and close with it. You can't exactly spread fertilizer from a mile away, can you? All right. I don't know what just happened there, but there you are. You're so mad. Sam is loved in this space. You can be too. There's still time. Yeah, there's time for you, bro. Maybe one day. You wish I was using GPT for my comebacks. These are all home brewed. Like those bottles of not Mountain Dew under your Carlsbad Caverns. Oh, that's cursed and awesome at the same time, Sam. That poor person. Like I don't think they're gonna be okay. I think they're like taking so much psychological damage that they're gonna have to like are gonna have to like spend some time awake tonight thinking about what they've done. Yeah, I like your little mushroom dudes. They look like they're from Cloudy with a slight chance of meatballs. I didn't see that, but now that you say it, I think I can. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Wayne's, what extraordinary claim did I make? Are you talking about the whole bubbles of protection? That is just a conscious exercise that I do, right? I'm not making any claims about it. I'm just saying that that is something that I do, right? And through the power of our imagination, that is my experience. That's like being like, oh, let me tell you this story about, let's say, what's like an Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, this worm that smokes a pipe. And it's like, yeah, extraordinary claims require extra. It's like, I'm not, whoa, yay, calm down. This is just a story. You are just a story. Your ego is telling itself a story about who you think you are in relation to me. All right? And maybe you find some resistance in yourself in seeing me and what it is I'm talking about. Because if I'm saying something that challenges your preconceived notions of what is right or what is real, then it might be a matter of like what's the word I'm looking for? Ego dissonance, where it's like, oh, if this guy can experience something like this and I'm not experiencing something like that, am I less? Is there something wrong with me? Should I grow more in a way that's going to allow me experiences like this? Every single one of us are literally in the process of growth right now, right? Your path towards enlightenment is your own. And I'm just here to join you on it, dear friend. A friend is someone you want to walk side by side with. I'm not going to tell you, hey, come and stand here. My perspective is the best one looking at this mountain. You get to have a perspective looking at the mountain too. All right. And then we get to talk about our perspectives, all right? And we get to grow together. We don't take or make things personal here. Yeah. Faith is like that. If there were hard evidence, then your belief wouldn't mean anything and would have no power. I'm old, bald, decent mitties, a good 25 pounds overweight. Belief requires no truth. Yeah, it's true. Exactly, Wayne. Wayne, you're loved, even if you're old, bald, and 25 pounds overweight. None of those things matter to us in this space. Hi, Mel. How was your weekend? It was great. It's really great. Spend time with family, spend time with little Lewin, spend time going to a high tea, spend time with my wife, watching a 1951 kids movie. That movie is trippy, yo. Like that. I don't know why they would show that to children. I remember watching that as a child, and I rewatched it yesterday, and I was like, I haven't seen this. This version of me didn't see that movie. It's funny how that's your personal belief. Yeah. Good morning, y'all. It's a long weekend holiday Monday in Maple Syrup Land. Yay! Nice. I hope this holiday. Do you call it a holiday? Vakantiedag. Yeah. Vacation day. That's what we call it in South Africa. I hope it's a good one to you. Faith is believing in something without sufficient evidence. It's true. The way I've heard it is that if you want to get technical about terms, if it is true, you don't have to believe it because you know it. You seem like you're very grounded in your perspective. We actually value that a lot here. It's true, Wayne. And I'm more than willing to be challenged by you, right? Like, challenge the things that I say, all right? But if you wouldn't mind, for my sake, just give me context about what it is you're challenging, right? Be like, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, all right? How am I supposed to give you evidence for, I don't know if that's what you were talking about, for my own meditation practice, right? Do you want to have a video of me sitting still with my eyes closed? Is that the evidence that you would be looking for? All right, like, what does the evidence look like to you, kind of thing as well. Hi, Wolf. Thank you for thinking about me. Dan told me that you brought me up yesterday. I really appreciate that. She did. She called to our awareness, you, and asked us to send you love, and we did, dear friend. That's not belief, it's factual. Beliefs require no truth. Yeah, but if you believe something, it means you cannot know it to be true at the same time, right? So it is like, yeah, beliefs require no truth, but it also means that you cannot say it's true by its nature because you're believing it, right? That's where the faith comes in. It's a subjective opinion because the truth is subjective, as in up to interpretation depending on how you view reality. It's true. Linda Coco joining us. Hi, MeltMore says, Wolf, I sub to you. Thank you for joining us. Your sub is appreciated, and we look forward to spending more time with you here in this space, friend. Good morning. Hey, Gabs. I have a banana, but it's hardly ripe enough to eat. Rough. Hope it's ripe by end of day at the very least. Gabadygoo. Sending you blessings, bro. Your instance will only prevent you from accepting and embracing the truth of unity consciousness, Wayne. Let go and return to the collective. I'm gonna go check on Zoe quickly. I'm gonna turn my microphone off. You don't want to hear the screams. Yeah, he has food. His water bowl is literally filled with clean water. He's being a little bit of a stinker. I am influenced by your voice. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace be upon you, dear gobs. Peace be upon you, dear friends. Be influenced in the best possible way. May you find blessings throughout your day, throughout your week, as you continue into this life thing we are happening together with BSF. Good morning to you too, friend. I'm eating a bagel with veggie cream cheese. Nice. Veggie cream cheese. As in, they put veggies in the cream cheese, or as in cream cheese that comes from veggies? Please clarify, Christy. I've never heard of such a thing. I think we yesterday had something that was like a veggie cream cheese. It was like cream cheese that was cucumber flavored on a little piece of white bread. Is it green gobs? I really enjoy them that way. They are technically better for you. The more yellow slash brown a banana gets, the higher the sugar content. But yeah, your mileage may vary. My insistence, ironic. Wayne, what's going on inside, bro? Like, where is the resistance coming from to this space? Do you see any of us trying to hurt you? All right. Do you feel challenged by what this space kind of represents? All right. I don't expect you to change who you are for you to be here with us. What I would expect is for you to tell us who you are. Right? Tell us. Tell us who you are so we can know you. Easy there, buddy. Who are you calling a yellow frequency? Combat. Christopherson, Prairie and Combat, Nancy and Gowdy Goo, Sam of course, and MeltMore too. New friends, classic friends, BSF, all you lovely yous. Hope you're well this morning. Thank you, Zhao, for blessing all of us with your good energies too. Mostly yellow, kind of green, very gross. They taste so good though. I mean, you can fry them, right? If they're kind of green, they hold together a little bit better. You have great vibes. Thank you, DJ. I am a reflection of the good vibes that you hold inside yourself as well. That's what I like to tell to people when they give me compliments like that. Because again, there's some people that come into this space and are so perturbed by the vibes, if you will, that I'm trying to bring into this space, that it causes them like it creates a pit in their stomach. We had one of the friends, a troll, coming into the space that had like this whole copy pasta. You probably think you're better than everyone else and sit upon your perch of grandioseness and probably wouldn't listen to another person prove me wrong or something like that. And then I like read that person's message, anyway, despite it being kind of like blatantly inflammatory and not giving me the benefit of the doubt right from the get-go. And then they admitted that the reason they sent that comment is because I make them, and the words were, seethingly envious. And some people will get that experience from this space. They'll join us, and instead of tuning into the good vibes that we're trying to share, they'll get seethingly envious because they're not manifesting or maintaining that good energy inside themselves yet. What I would like to say to this community, and it's something that we talk about a lot, is that every single one of us have a good energy, a good way of engaging with the world available to us at all times, right? I'm no more special than anyone else. I am a person. I eat food, I drink water, I sleep, I exercise occasionally, right? These are the things that's good for our bodies. And if I can maintain this body with these simplicities, then so can you. And I do believe that if we do take care of these bodies in a way that facilitates our well-being, it's easier to be good. Good morning from Canada, dude. Corey Cameron. Thank you for joining us, Corey. It's nice having you here too. Which of those first names is your first name? Corey or Cameron? Or are you actually a Chris? Thank you for the star again, Joey Diesel Comedy. Appreciate that. I'm out of here. Everyone have a happy day. Thank you, Wayne. You too. Appreciate it. Same to you. Misery loves company. Isn't that right, Christy? Right. Especially if you're in that miserable state, and then you go onto the internet, almost like trying to look, all right, looking for people to make you more miserable, and then you're like, hey, this one isn't miserable. Not on my watch. And you cannot make me miserable, bro. Like I have too much to be grateful for. Too much to remind me that being miserable isn't the truth of the matter, right? Love is true. That is my core theme slash philosophy in life. And it's not the romantic kind. I haven't always had romantic love in my life. I started this space without romantic love in my life, and I have continued this space even after finding it. Right? Love is true in a way that we show up. That when you open your eyes in the morning, you do so because of the truth of love. Right? That there wouldn't be something to wake up for. What would there be to look forward to if there was nothing to love? Not food, not friendliness, not experience, not animals, not anything in this world. If it was just desolate wasteland, right, and you knew that there was going to be no love in this day, I would probably stay in bed. But because that's not the case, we continue forward. We keep showing up. Dan is here with us as well. I am here, but not for long because I'm busy at work. Dan, we appreciate you in this space, and we hope that you have a good day. Listen to Mel. Sometimes some folks don't know any other way to communicate. So when you see me going after folks like Wayne, that's what's up. Loving them requires speaking their language. It's true. And then. Sorry for being short lately. I wasn't feeling well for months now. Like I'm unable to help my attitude and my thoughts turning suddenly sour and short. Inky helped me discover a leak and mold. I'm happy to hear that you are aware, Dreamtooth, and I wasn't hating you or feeling a sense of resistance to you because you've been unwell or been short or sour in that way. All right. I think one of the consequences of being in that short and sour state, and I've noticed the same thing in the dynamics between me and Joe, when I'm in that short and sour state, it's so easy to project that the other person dislikes us, hates when we feel hateable, undesirable, unlovable, right? And the truth of the matter is, most of us are dealing with our own stuff, sometimes to the point where we're not even thinking about the other person and the way that they were short with us or the way that they were sour. I hear you and I forgive you if that's what you need to hear from me. Hoopty hoops. I'm so sorry you have been feeling unwell for a couple of months now. I envision you getting better, seeing you covering or plugging those leaks, washing away the mold and growing anew. Shantae van de Merwe. Hello, Shantae. My sister's name is Shantae as well. Sending you love, dear friend. Mel, think of after the month I've had, I think I understand the cortisol thing. I definitely need to get back into my meditation and spiritual routine. Joey, your body will thank you. Right? You don't have to do a lot. That's the thing as well. Being in a state of chronic stress, right? When your cortisol is being released, it can be a good thing, right? We can use stress in a way that facilitates growth or action, movement towards a lower stress state. But when we move from one stress state to the next stress state, that's when we start kind of like taxing our nervous systems, asking too much of our bodies. I envision you getting better. The spiritual routine. The spiritual routine is an interesting terminology. Show up for love. Look around yourself and spot 3 things that you're grateful for, right? That can be a spiritual routine as well. Inky helped me discover a leak and mold inside the guest room cabinet by removing his poo from the tray and leaving it right in front of the bathroom door. How about that? Inky is your cat, right, Hoopy? I'm happy that he helped you, bro. He was probably like, hey, my human, there's a problem here, bro. Hi, Melt. I'm glad to hear you had a day. I had a day, bro. I'm happy that you had a day too. I look forward to having this day with you as well. Joey, sending you a breath of fresh air. Hope your month gets better, man. A cute day, a creative day. You got a great way of happy. Cheers and huzzah to us. Thank you. Hoopty hoops for huzzahing here with me. Sending you so much love, dear friend. I don't know who this dude in the chat is quoting Carl Sagan is, but that's my boy. Get his name out of your mouth. Quoting Carl Sagan in a bad way. Don't you dare, oh. It's Dan. Dan's quoting Carl Sagan's Pharma's Fart quote. And 10 bucks says Melt is gonna try to ignore it. 10 bucks to Joe. Joe has gotten 10 bucks. I did say I would. What are we discussing? We're discussing the consequences. The unintended consequences. Right? The unintended consequence of yesterday's comments, meaning that I might ignore some of them today. Being like, oh, it's actually easy for me to self-regulate. I'm a tiny Asian human. I'm 5'5", but just small. I had my funniest day yesterday. My son's best friends all came over and had dinner, and we played a game called Imposter. They're such trolls. We had to describe an elephant, and Rio said, "The Luna." I bursted out laughing, so I mean, but I couldn't hide my laughter. That sounds cute. Joe was like, hello. Yeah, he'll be like that sometimes. He definitely has been a little bit antsy. He is in his springtime energy, right? Like a bunch of pin feathers are coming out. The vegetables we're feeding him, we put a scoop of vitamins in, and it's supposed to promote the pinning of feathers, and it's uncomfortable, right? Like imagine your hair, instead of like just coming out as a hair, it comes out as a little pocket of like skin, and then you have to like pinch that skin to let all of the hairs out. That's what's happening to him right now. It's like not a vibe. He doesn't like it. And usually in nature, they have other birds to kind of like help them break those pin feathers up as they're coming out. And we do our best, you know. We are humans and we'll use our little fingies to kind of like pinch on them, but we also don't have the same sensitivity that they do with one another. And then, of course, he's, how do you say, frustrated, you know, in that way. In the way that the incels might be. He can be pretty frustrated. And it does kind of like get him to be a little bit reactive. Trust is subjective, trust is objective. Trust this objective that we are participating within right now. Oh my goodness, it's Ed Sheeran. I don't think I've ever been compared to Ed Sheeran. That's a new one. Good morning, y'all. Hey, Darren. Hey again, Shantae. Are you from South Africa? I lost my grandpa. I'm so sorry to hear that, friend. How long ago was this? Are you okay? Do you have support systems around you? There's celery and carrots in it. I was like, but good. Hectic. Hi, you good? I'm good, Joel. How about you? Joe, are you about to not grow any extra fingers in your evolutionary process? Oh man, veggie cream cheese and a bagel is a bagel classic spread. I'll add it to the. Oh, okay. All right. There is celery and carrots in it, but I'm guessing it's still cream cheese with the celery and carrots in it. I was just imagining, like, how do you get a cream cheese from a vegetable? Show me the tit. Show me the tit on a vegetable. To those who know that joke, know the joke I'm making, I promise I'm a good person. All right. I'm just really sad. Sorry, Shantae. I can't imagine how hard that must be. Hoops, my energy body will grow all kinds of things, but I don't see any extra fingers coming out of my physical hand anytime soon. You want to talk or share about what happened? We're here to hear you out if you do want to, dear friend. Talking to Shantae, I'm sure. You are special right now. I remember you said you went at the office for a process. I went into something more deep. I appreciate you for speaking your vibes, sir. Thank you for being here with us, Pedro, for sharing your vibes with us as well. Right? Mutual appreciation for one another is how we're going to continue forward in a way that we actually want to see each other again. Sending big, big love to you, friend. Thank you, Jean. Trust me, I make them miserable. Lol, JK. Life is great. Fullness of our gods. Jesus. Love is true. Thank you, Pedro, for remaining on your spiritual path. Always count your blessings, right, Christy? It's like a wave. There's always ups and downs. Give yourself grace when you find yourself in those downs. This is right. Hoopty sending some cool emojis, starting and ending it with the Melt Godhead and the MeltMore Lion. That's such a it's so cool and cursed at the same time. That's something that Zato made. Are you South African? I am, silly goober. Ek is. En ek is Afrikaans. Ja, ek kan Afrikaans praat. Maar dit help nie, ek praat Afrikaans hier so nie, want julle gaan nie verstaan nie. Julle gaan nie verstaan nie, silly goober. But I hope that you're happy that you got to hear that. Stress, stress, stress. You stressed as well, Lone Buffalo. Tell us about it. What's stressing you out, dear friend? Is it work? Let us know what you've been going through. We got Angela here. Good morning, Angela, from Italy. Love you, your wife, you beautiful couple. Have a great day. Thank you, Angela. Sending you so much love as well. Thank you for sending my wife love too. She's here in chat with us. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That's Carl Sagan. Ah, there it is. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I think that was Wayne, but Wayne's not here anymore. Today is my daughter's birthday. She turned 4. That's cute. Sending her love. Thank you, Christy, for joining us, and I hope that she knows that she's very loved. Like, 4 is still at that age where I don't know if she'll remember much. I think like up to like 5-ish, I can't remember much, of my birthdays or anything at all. But I'm still sure that she's going to have a good day with you. Ah, there it is. I didn't realize that was the Carl Sagan one. Makes more sense. Shantae says, I've been feeling sad all day because my grandpa died. He meant everything to me. You want to tell us his name, Shantae? So we can honor him in that way. Kind of like thinking about it from the perspective of like this. Not much we can do in hindsight, right? And there's not much we can do for your sad. It's okay for you to be sad when someone passes. Like, allow yourself that grief as well. We're here to support you and to remind you that you were loved. I learned about the African gray parrot recently. Yeah, they are very cool parrots, very intelligent. I hate birds, but that one is interesting. The African greys, I wanted an African grey as a kid, actually. They are very special, very intelligent as well. Happy birthday to you, little girl, Christy. Thank you, Perry Wolf. Surprising timing. Hello, Yellow. Ooh, sorry, can't buy into it anymore. Thank you for trying for a second there. What's the channel about, mate? Jason Rogers. We consciously evolve in this space. And that might sound like a big woo-woo term, but it essentially just means that all of the evolution that we show up for in this space, we do so consciously for. All right? We realize that we don't have all the answers, and as a result, we show up to learn. We show up to learn. We learn from one another. We learn from ourselves, sometimes even in just allowing ourselves to be open enough to universal wisdom. You don't look like Ed Sheeran, but that was kind of funny. Have you heard of Irene Pepperberg and Alex the African gray parrot, the first animal documented to ask an existential question? Looked in the mirror and said, "What color?" and learned the color gray. Yeah, he knew all of the other colors where she would like be able to like prompt him, show him something, and then he would say red or whatever. And then he looked at himself in the mirror and goes, "What color? What color am I?" You said, while he was dying, what is happening? Where am I going? You be good. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is pretty tragic, but yeah, you be good was the last words of that little birdie too. He could distinguish and verbally identify shapes, colors, and even materials like metal or wood. It's true. and objects in a pile, cold cake, yummy bread. When he was introduced to it, that's cute. Someone hit the reverse button on MeltMore again. Lone Buffalo goodness striking them heartstrings. Yeah, says Joel. I remember stuff from age 4. You do, Dry? You want to tell us about it? Any good stuff? Any unintended consequences of remembering stuff from your past? The only memory I have from being 4 is like being outside and playing and losing my baby chicks to a dog. His name was Chris. Shantae, my dad's name is Chris. How trippy. My sister's name is Shantae and my dad's name is Chris, so I feel extra close with you and this lost dear friend. I remember things from 2-ish. That's wild, Tomo. I would tell my mom things and she is like, how? That is wild. I don't have memories from that long ago. My woo-woo never needed answers. Well, I don't think we pride ourselves in coming up with the perfect answers, but we do pride ourselves in sharing conversation, don't we, Dreamtooth? The question about what is happening, where am I going, is quite profound. Yeah, existentialism. The fact that the little burbies can have an existential experience as well. Existence is a lot on many a people. I'm also South African. Yeah, even me. Mysticism, mystic, callousism. Hi to you, dear friend. Welcome to this space. Same. I remember when I was 2, my brother pushed me in a shopping cart and I fell out. I still have the scar from it. Maybe it was one of those like formative moments. Like, it's an assumption that he instinctively knew he was going somewhere. That is wild. Bro, many things in life are out of our control. Ash, you're completely right on that. Many things in life is out of our control. The unintended consequence kind of thing, right? Yeah, it's true what you say. Thinking about one of Joe's teachings, that we might not, or at least this is the thing that she reminds me of, we might not be able to control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it, right? Instead of reacting, respond. That's what is in our control at the end of the day. I remember Disney World at 4, and then most of the sad that happened between 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6 into like 7 was a pretty dark era in my life as well. And I'm saying dark from the perspective of like, I didn't really go through much trauma, but I started having an existential experience where I realized that I had choices and that I could die as a consequence of them. All right. I could like see my family being really stressed about me going out into the world. And I couldn't understand why at first until I realized that I could self, right? I could like jump off a tree and break my neck kind of thing. And I was like, neat. Neat. And then it was like a weird thing of like when I wouldn't get my way, I was very exploratory. I just wanted to go and see things. And my mom was like, "No, you cannot just go and see things. You have to stay at the house." And I would get like into this extremism where I would like want to throw myself out of my treehouse. Bro was looking comfy. I am, dear friend. Comfortable in my own skin. Comfortable in my home. Comfortable here with you, friends. It's the first time you're joining us here, One Great Lake. Thank you for joining us here. I hope that you find yourself comfortable with us and that you take this comfort into your life. Where's the bird? Bird's in the other room. He's chilling again. It's being a good burp at least. Yeah. Crazy degrees of separation. The lady who brought us Zoe knew Irene Pepperberg. Not super closely to call them good friends, but they were acquainted because of the bird stuff. I didn't know that actually, Xiao. This is news to me. Do you have any belly problems before? I had belly problems this week past even. I'm finally out of that era of having belly problems. I'm pretty grateful for that actually. My grandpa had lung cancer. Yeah, lung cancer. Lung cancer is all too common at this point. Did he smoke, Shantai? I'm sorry to hear that that's what took him out. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Melt, did you grow up in the house you used to stream from in South Africa? Most of my growing up. Did you go and check out my old content? Prairie Wolf? Yeah. I spent, I, we moved there when I think I was 9, right? The home that I did my streams in. So I became an adult in that space, essentially. I went from being a little kid to being a teenager to becoming an adult in that space. I spent the last 5 years or 4 years there even, right? That space did a lot of forming for me at the very least. I've never been to Disney, same. I remember my mom promised me and my sister if we worked hard, they'd take us. We did. And then when we said, "Are we going?" she laughed in our faces. Yeah, my dad also said to us that he would take us to Disneyland, and then it was like he was like, "Oh, we're gonna take you to Disneyland at some point," and then we kept having more siblings. Right, the last sibling came when I was already an 8-year-old, and then they were like, "Okay, we're still gonna go to Disneyland, but we're going to wait until your sister is like big enough to actually remember it, because taking her as a 1-year-old isn't gonna be a vibe." And then by the time she was old enough to go to Disneyland, it was like the economic crisis kind of thing. Was she born? Yeah, I think so. No, she was born in 2006, right? So when she was a 2-year-old, the economic crisis happened. My dad lost his job, and like things was a little bit more hard. We were never hungry. We never had to like fight for food, but we definitely didn't have any money to fly to a different country and go to Disneyland kind of thing. And then that just never ended up happening. Right? It is something that I kind of had like a lot of saltiness in my teenage years about, where I was like, fucking made me promises that you can't keep kind of thing. Diana, thank you. Peace be with you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, friend. If you make a choice and you die, you're not gonna be there being like, "Oh, that was the wrong choice." Yeah. What the hell are you wearing? I'm wearing what they call clothing. Hi, Amar. Is it your first time seeing clothing? Thank you. Me and Sam on the same note. You say that dream, and then you get to heaven, and everyone is laughing at you for dying so quickly. I live in Egypt. That's cool, Amar. I would love to see the pyramids one day. We leave it out. We weave it out of materials. Then we put it over our bodies. Clothing helps to keep us warm. Chat, help me out. Let's teach this poor friend about clothes. Yeah, so we can be decent. So we don't have to show all of our bits to everyone that witnesses us. It's like respect. Gifts, is adorned in gifts. It's true. I didn't buy myself a single one of the pieces of clothing that I'm wearing. This was a gift from my mom. This was a gift from a lady named Charlene. This was a gift from my wife. So yeah, I am adorned in gifts. I am wearing gifts right now. Melt, I'm afeared sometimes. What are you afraid of? What are you afeared of? Yesterday, during the podcast, we listened to a thing about like the extra dimensional entities, that they cannot feel emotions themselves. And the emotion that is most potent, that gives them the most energetic sustenance, is the emotion of fear, apparently. All right. And I think it is time for us to starve them. I was magical looking. It was magical looking surroundings. That space is magic. Prairie Wolf, seriously. Like, my home is very special to me. It's a place that I will forever cherish. Mama Gaia, right? It's my first love. I'm sorry, Christy, that's not okay. The mom laughing at her in her face. It's all good. I'm at the means where I can take myself now. But honestly, I'd rather travel to another country. I think you'd get more out of it than going to Disney World as well. I think so. You don't make empty promises. That's not cool. It's not always empty promises. I'm not going to project or say that I know what Christy's mom went through, but I know my dad didn't, in the moment, make an empty promise, right? In promising us that he'll take us to Disney World when I was a kid, it was a matter of, like, he probably did want that. He probably did want it, but circumstances sometimes change, right? That's why some people don't make any promises. They would rather just play things close to heart and give things as they come instead of setting an expectation, right? Setting expectations can be pretty detrimental, can have unintended consequences, since that is today's stream topic. Oh, I was gonna tell you, I found this one dude who does live streaming and debates. I've been on his channel a few times now, and it's been really fun debating with him. Yeah, I'm sure that there probably is. I can also enjoy a good debate, but I have found that if it creates animosity and a sense of separation between people, it's no longer something that I enjoy. I can be very stark in my, there is a right and there is a wrong, and I would be like willing to stand up for what I think is right, sometimes to a fault, right? To the point where it becomes kind of like toxic. The guy actually comes in good faith. We went pretty hard for like an hour yesterday, and I'm coming back tonight. That sounds fun. I subscribed to your channel the other day when you were dancing around in the room enjoying your spirit. I do that too. TP? TP for my PP. That's a hilarious username. I might just call you TP. But yeah, I do dance Wednesdays. It's Monday right now. So if you stick around for 2 more days, on Wednesday, I'm going to be dancing again. What's this channel? We welcome all types here. TP, even the great Cornholio. You're saying they love fear. I think you're thinking of Jeepers Creepers. Time for you to deal with your fear, so it's not an issue for the life you want to live. Indeed, I need TP for my bottle. Let's go to South Africa. Fran trip. Come to South Africa. Yeah. How about that, Christy? It would be awesome having you over there. I watched Jeepers Creepers 2 yesterday, lol. Synchronicity. It's like watching someone else play a video game you already beat. Motherfucker, it's right there. It's right there. I just continue to sharpen my sword. That's why I love to debate. I have two methods. I predominantly use the first one, which is closer to what you're talking about, just straight, direct. But if I really want to convert someone, I have a whole different method for that. I have stopped trying to convert people to my way of thinking, right? I try to embody so much calm and self-confidence that I have the other person second guessing, right? Whatever they believe, right? If we don't agree, if we're not in alignment, kind of in the same way, I I don't see it as a threat to my own way of being anymore, right? Because I know every single person is trying their best, dealing with their own unique set of biases and perspective. And all I can do is just understand. I'm not scared of anything. That's good, Shantae. Fear is the mind killer, after all. You gotta communicate how you would be treated. You look like a therapist. I wanted to be a therapist at some point. Trump. A trumpet. Yeah. I might still become a therapist at some point. It might just take me some time. And of course, studying. How many legit therapists dressed like this after the 70s? I mean, maybe I could be the first. There are lots of people who dislike others because they don't think the same as them. It's true. All right. I like to educate myself on how to communicate with other people. And most recently, I watched a video about there being like 4 different types of communication style, where like one is the direct ones, like the red one is the yellow one, the green one, and the blue one. Where red is direct and almost like to the point. Yellow is inspired and whimsical and like rapid firing of ideas, kind of like being in that creative state. Green is compassionate and soft and trying to maintain harmony. And blue is detail oriented, right? And wanting all of the details, wanting to understand all of the intricacies. And it was interesting to notice that I'm a yellow communicator kind of thing. I like kind of like being in the flow of my mind, where you might only end up getting along with people that are the same kind of communicator as you if you don't realize that you can switch, right, your communication style. You can get along with everyone if you just kind of meet them where they're at. All right, you don't have to agree with them to get along with them. Ask him, he's the therapist. I'm definitely not a therapist. Christy, that's hilarious. The second one's a lot more campier and funnier. And I got the channel name. Just give me a second. There we go. Sam, you'd be surprised, especially nowadays. Therapists usually dressed how they like. Good. I have met many people, Darren said, my age, that come from all walks of life, each unique with their own perspective. I don't dismiss their knowledge. They lived to the same age as me. Yeah, they survived, right? Clearly, what they learned allowed them their continued existence, which means that it's just as worthy as what I've learned in my continuing of my existence. Yes, Mel, join me in my journey to being a therapist. Dry historian. You want to send me your textbooks? Are you actually studying to become a therapist? Once you finish, send me your textbooks. I'd be more than willing to actually start learning. Even if I don't become a certified therapist, just like learning would be helpful too. Well, I don't want to necessarily convert anyone to my way of thinking, and mainly show them how real and awesome life can be if you're actually engaging it. There we go. Yeah. That's the way I see it as well, right? Like people will tell me that I'm interesting, but the only reason I'm interesting is because I'm interested. I engage with the other person in their life experience as well, right? And then when the room arises, when there's space for me to talk about what I have experienced, I talk about it from the perspective of like growth, right? Like all of us are here to grow. And the environments that I have found myself in allowed me the growth that I have experienced, but all of us grow in the ways that we're supposed to, right? Some people don't get uncomfortable enough to grow, to engage, as you say. And in that way, kind of like it's our responsibility to show people the ways in which you can grow or the ways in which you can become as a result of the experience we go through. With my little sis, once you show somebody how awesome and real something like martial arts and science can be, it's not hard after that. It's true. The fascination with the sciences. I am like a very science-oriented person, right? Like I'm willing to admit that I am not the smartest person on the earth, and that there are many people very much smarter than me. And instead of, from an ego perspective, kind of like cutting myself off from that wisdom, I open myself up in humbleness to learn from them. Dry. I was making a somewhat clunky reference to all of the swinger parties in the 70s that begun with some size bag moderating women into getting vulnerable. Oh, sleazebag. That's the, yeah. How about we don't make references like that, Sam? I'm sorry. I'm gonna call that one out. Uh, I'm not afraid of anything either. Upside down pineapple. That's apparently how you're supposed to store them, right? The 70s, one solo parties. I didn't even catch that reference. Yeah, that one also went way over my head. Just got my master's this fall. Are you serious, Troy? That is really cool. Congratulations, dear friend. So you're like, are you done? Are you going to continue? Are you going to get your PhD or are you going to finish up? Life is sometimes hard. Always worth it, though, isn't it, Shantai? What are you studying for? Mental health epidemic is coming. It's coming? What do you mean it's coming? Oh, it's here, bro. It's upon us. Dream, it's already have. Yeah, right, Prairie Wolf. Uh, it's done. I've been here, Hoopy. We don't have enough therapists to help everyone. Yeah, and even if we had enough therapists to help everyone, there isn't enough finances for everyone to be able to get the help that they need. And even if they did have the finances to get the help that they need, maybe they don't have the time in order to actually go and get the help that they could technically afford. And even if they have the time to get the help that they now can afford, some of them might still have so much ego resistance in getting help because as soon as you go to a therapist, it might mean admitting that you don't have it all figured out. So we are in a stalemate, in a complicated space. I was just gonna say that. The financial thing, yeah. No, I got accepted. I start this fall. Congratulations, Try Historian. We're so proud of you, friend. That's awesome. The channel name is Let's Talk by Warriors Band. Cool. That's a cool name, actually. Yeah. We've been here for an hour and 17 minutes. I think today's stream will be a little bit shorter. We showed up in calm. We shared in this space. We consider today the unintended consequences. I don't think we have to talk about all of the unintended consequences that could ever be for us to realize that there will sometimes be unintended consequences in simply existing. Like you've pushed everything you can think of and physically do, so now it's time to only think about it because that's all you can do. Like you've pushed everything you can think of and physically do, so now it's time to only think about it because that's all you can do. Yeah. At some point you have to realize that you have the message. All right. It's like once you've heard the message, put down the phone kind of thing. Thinking about the Marcus Aurelius quote, one of my favorites. Stop arguing about what it means to be a good person and be one. Yeah, that really needs to be a non-profit for play, a non-profit to play for therapy. I'm surprised there isn't one already. Pay, not play. Oops, yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, yeah. It's again like the profitability thing, right? Like we have like online platforms as well. So people can get therapy inside their homes, but yeah, just having that external source to help you reflect on your own mind kind of thing. It is something that we need. Try maybe that work the space can do. That's our ally. That's our ally, isn't it? Where are our scammers at? Yo, folks, you get some work to do. All right, this deck is nice and shuffled. I am now going to flare these cards. If you have in your mind a message, a question, some sort of unintended consequence you've been facing, project it onto this deck. And then, if you feel the need to, tell me to stop. As soon as I see the words stop in chat, my thumb will pull the card that it's on. Thank you for joining us again. Herbs and animals are life. It's nice having you here again. Pull me a card, Melt. Stop when you feel it. Oh yeah, I do like this card. The Peace Lily. I have a question from my grandpa. Feel free to ask it, dear friend. The fruit of life. So, before I read this card, I'll tell you, friends, what this card means to me. In many different parts of the world, we have discovered this pattern, this underlying pattern. That is an interesting one. This pattern is called the flower of life. It's essentially when you overlap circles, right? And it creates this pattern that on a biological level is you, right? When your mother and father conceived you, and those cells came together, you started dividing as little circular cells, right? And then, and on a three-dimensional level, you are the kind of pattern. However, from that pattern, the flower of life, that is a almost like fundamental energy force in our universe, arises the fruit of life, right? And the fruit of life ends up being you, right? The fruit of life is the experience you're having. The fruit of life is the work that you're doing. And it arises from the flower of life in that way. I really love this card. Can you pull any code from that deck? Tell him I miss him, please. You have told him yourself, dear Shantae. I'm sorry for what you're going through, Shantae. We all are, friend. Know that he's not gone. His physical form might not be here with us anymore, but he's not gone, right? Think about all of the memories that you have of your grandpa. All of that stuff stays with you forever, right? All of the good that he did, all of the wishful, loving intention that he brought into your existence will continue to carry you forward indefinitely, Shantae. Thank you for honoring your grandpa in this space today. You were loved, dear friend. He'll always be in your heart. I would love to talk to a therapist in therapy. It's confusing sometimes to me. I understand we have figured out a lot about the human condition, but what are they supposed to know, you know? They know tools, essentially, right? They're not really supposed to know anything in the ultimate sense because each and every single person is unique, right? And each and every single person is dealing with their own stuff. However, therapy is essentially supposed to be a third space when it comes to your mental health, right? Where you might not have the room to talk about all of the stuff that you're going through inside to your partner or to your mom or your dad, right? Maybe you're dealing with a lot of depression and suicidal ideation, and you're scared that if you tell your partner or your parents about it, that they'll be worried about you, right? So a therapist's job, at least in my mind, and please correct me, friends, if you think I'm missing the mark, is supposed to facilitate you learning about yourself, right? They sit with you, and with the tools that they've learned, they create room for you to talk about what's going on inside. Therapists are an unbiased outside look to moderate your situations, basically, and give you tools. There it is, right? So because the therapist has these tools in dealing with our own mental kind of baggage, their job is to teach you, right? If a therapist tries to almost like lock you in, right, kind of like make you dependent on them, then it's a bad therapist. If a therapist tries to help you in a way where you no longer need them, then it's a good therapist, in my mind. Right? Dry again. I didn't know you're a therapist, friend. I'm so proud of you. You can correct me too. He'll always be in your heart. Shantae, his energy is around you, even if you can't see him in the physical. Combat. I think therapists are there to hear you out without judgment. I never talked to one. It's just my feeling. I've talked to therapists. But the last time that I had therapy, I was still attached to the financial fractal of it, where I couldn't I couldn't trust the therapist. I couldn't believe that he had any of my best wishes at heart because he had to be paid in order to spend time with me, right? Where I was like, you don't care. If I stop paying you, you would drop me, right? So why am I gonna share my depth? You have indeed felt a great loss, but love is a form of energy and it swirls around us all. Their love for you has not left this world, it is still inside of you, in your heart, and is reborn as new love over and over again. It's true. My dad passed when I was 11. 25 years later, he is always helping me. Darren, that's beautiful. I'm not convinced you have a mind for minding like that. Yeah. We can use our minds for many things, dear hoopty hoops. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us, Darren. For giving our friend some hope as well, I hope. Sending you so much love. And now I'm going to read you this card. It's about abundance and manifestation. This card takes us a step beyond the flower of life. By removing the circular boundaries of the flower of life and adding another full rotation, we find a pattern of 13 circles known as the fruit of life. This pattern holds complex informational systems and is considered a female gateway. This abundance emerges from a water lily, which represents our potential for enlightenment. Pulling this card suggests that by the fruit of your labor and vision, abundance has or is about to manifest in your life. Rejoice in the knowledge that you are drawing in abundance and manifesting your goals. Abundance comes in many forms, and you are cautioned not to get caught up in thinking that abundance must be about wealth. True, as you find your life's path, the rewards will flow freely and hard times will pass. There are, however, many other types of abundance: beauty, love, friendship, hope, and growth, to name just a few. Let the abundance that you are manifesting bring you to a greater understanding of your purpose in life and an expanded view of plenty. In all things abundant, there exists nourishment that feeds your needs and offers you the opportunity to be of service. The maxim, as you give, so shall you receive, is absolutely true from the standpoint of your current situation. The message is one of unselfishly sharing. Sharing your abundance is spreading light. I don't know if I pulled it reversed, but the reverse meaning goes as such: you lack for nothing. yet you feel a sense of scarcity. Adjust your attitude and welcome the manifestation of abundance. And you said you want a card, Shantae? I'd be happy to pull you one. Elemental Embrace. That's a crazy card to pull considering the loss of a family member. Your grandpa has been embraced by the elements, dear friend. And I hope you don't feel that as something insensitive, right? See it as Mama Gaia literally hugging your grandpa, taking him in like a big old long hug. A hug that doesn't let go. A love that continues forward forever. John, stream is already ending. It's close. It is close to ending. We're still in the middle of a reading, but if there's reason for me to continue, I would. Today's stream topic was about the unintended consequences. Strong Coffee Monday. Oh yeah. I'm like trying to finish my coffee to get myself also caffeinated before it's too late. I'm only now seeing your stop. Do you want me? You know what? I'll put that card down and I'll wait for you as well. Shantae, let's try one more time. I'm gonna give you some time. I'm gonna pull you another one, and then you have to tell me to stop. All right. Now I'm gonna be waiting. I'll be patient. Send me another stop. I'm crying right now. You know what? I saw Last of the Survivor say stop. I feel like that Elemental Embrace is the card that I needed to pull for you, though. I'll pull another one just so that you have that influence too. Is it just me, or is there also a big whiff of coffee container? Yeah, I do. Every time, Darren. Every time I open my coffee, I'm like, it smells like coffee. I do love the smell of coffee. Okay. No stops means that this was the right card after all. Card number 52. Elemental Forces and Synthesis. Yeah, downing that coffee suddenly has my body really hot. Elemental Forces and Synthesis. You'll get through this. Thank you, dear Christy. I'll always be with you. Elemental Forces and Synthesis. This card speaks of connecting with elemental forces. Molten lava flows into the ocean under a full moon, where two pairs of lovers inhibiting the steam plumes are revealed. You see them? There's the hand, there's the arm, there's an arm, and there's another arm. These steam plumes holding each other. They embody the passionate embrace of fire, creating earth and transmuting water into air. There is an atmosphere of raw creative energy emerging from the planet's womb. You know how it feels, though you may never have experienced it. Coming from a primal place in our cellular memory, this feeling holds the power of the elements and speaks directly to the relationship all humans have with the elements and with Mother Earth. Embedded within this card are two seven-sided stars. Seven is an integrating number, and here represents the synthesis of body, mind, and spirit with elemental forces. Seven indicates stages of transformation and is a self-contained chronicle for quickening creativity. How can you more fully appreciate your connection with elemental forces? You may decide to put your hands in the earth and grow a garden. Water it and see how sunlight and air combine to feed you and enhance growth and beauty in your life. You may sit by a fire with your feet on the ground, watching sparks fly into the air on a dark summer's eve. Perhaps you will learn to enhance your living space through a discipline such as feng shui. In any way you choose, find an understanding of the relationship among elemental forces so that you may live in harmony within your environment and merge your everyday life with the magic and mystery of the cosmos. And I did pull this card reversed. I did pull it reversed for you, Shantae. Huzzah, you're still online. Here I am, Lon. Welcome. Not for much longer, though. The reverse meaning goes as such. Your circumstance have led to a feeling of separation. Reconnect with friends. Losing a grandpa is a circumstance that will lead to feelings of separation, right? Feeling this separation from your grandpa. Reconnect with friends, reconnect with your family, reconnect with those that love you. I don't know if you've been here before, Shantae, but I hope that you feel like you are held by the friends in this space. Sounded like a meow. He is meowing. What is happening to poor Zoe? Those are unusually dramatic burp noises. He's just trying to get attention right now, right? And after he bit Joe like 3 times in the last 24 hours, I am doing what the teaching says. Like, if he bites people, then he doesn't get the same level of attention, kind of thing, right? It's like the consequence. Like, you're not supposed to like try and hurt them or like scream at them or make your body big against them. You're just supposed to be like, okay, this equals this. If you bite us, then we don't engage with you as much. If you don't bite us, then we can have fun together, right? I think that's not too unreasonable, but he definitely has been a little bit antsy, and I don't trust him right now. That's also a part of it. Just to say I like using whole dried tobacco leaf by taking a tiny piece in my cheek in the morning till I feel like I grew some chest hair, then removed. Dream tooth. To each their own. Unfortunately, putting tobacco leaf in our mouth is not very good for our gum health or our teeth. All right, so your mileage may vary. Take good care of yourself, dear friend. Sound like meow. Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Shantae, if your grandma is around, get her to tell you about your grandpa to keep his memories alive. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shantae. Sending you love. The theme song for Tarzan, You'll Be in My Heart, I think. And Beautiful said, that's a great idea. You should listen to that. How can I donate money to you? Donnie R. You can do it directly here on YouTube. I have a PayPal account. I have a Patreon. If it's something that you really do want to do, if it's something that you feel called to, Donnie, I'll be here again tomorrow. Any money that you donate will be appreciated, but it's not what I do this for. Just kidding. I would never donate to a YouTuber e-beggar. That's completely fine as well. You keep all of the money, and I'll see you friends again soon. Appreciate you for joining me. Thank you for sharing in this space. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day.